All right. Location number 8. SCMB Oro. SCMB Oro. Another place that has, you know, decent flow, not a lot of technical. Really good experience in here, in my opinion, because there's just so much trail in here that, you know, you can really do epic rides in here, or you can explore the trails over a couple of days and not ride a lot of stuff twice. I think in this hub, the SCMB Oro or Bass Lake Road trails, I think they have over 70 kilometers of single track that are all connected. That's pretty amazing. Right now I'm in creeks to start, but I'll get into some of the individual categories as the ride progresses. I got hero dirt today by the looks of it. Ooh. Let's give it a go. Why not? Sure. Given that I just went over that, let's start with features. There are some in here. Sprinkled around the trails. There's log skinnies like that. There's some boulder features. A few little jumps, but not a ridiculous amount of features. So it scores okay. A little below average, I would say, on features. And I guess the thing about the features here is that they're spread out over a lot of trail. So it's not like feature packed like a place like Arkell. You know, I rode that first skinny. I might not see another one for, you know, another 5 or 6 kilometers. I know. Yeah, these trails flow really nice, as that last section just showed. But, you know, they're spread out among different forest tracks, and like all the tracks here are good. I mean, I shouldn't say all the tracks here are good. Like, the riding here is a lot of fun, but you know, the trails have definitely have a certain feel to them throughout. There's not a lot of variation in the 70 kilometers of trail. These trails are maintained by SCMB. But you don't have to be an SCMB member to ride most of them. There are a few connector trails that connect some of the forest tracks, particularly in the east end of the trails, that do go on private property, and you are supposed to be a member to ride those connector trails. But the tracks themselves are open to non-members. I do find the loop that I'm doing today will make use of some of those connector trails. That way I don't have to ride as much on any road to connect them, because there are a couple of the forest tracks. My two favorite forest tracks in here are at the far east end of the trails. That's Schumacher and Breedon. Breedon's my favorite. I will get there, hopefully. Almost lost a pedal coming off that jump. Yeah, my left foot slipped a bit there. Here's one of the boulder features. In terms of the technical nature of these trails, they're not particularly technical. I mean, I'm in a section right now with a lot of roots or logs, creating a kind of a bridge over mud. But the trails are not particularly technical. Again, I would say for technical, below average. These are not trails that I would say, if you want to improve your technical riding, come to SCMB Oro. That's not what these trails are for. But they're so much fun for the flow and stuff, which is where these trails do really well. And there's quite a bit of an aerobic challenge. I'll get to those two scores later on. These trails are not particularly technical. There's rooty sections, there's a couple of rocky sections, but there's very few rocks. There's no significant rock gardens to speak of, but there's roots. There's definitely rooty sections. So yeah, below average on technical challenge as well. But you know, so far we're below average on features, below average on technical. What makes SCMB so good? Well, I'll get to that. These trails are fun. Ooh, nice and steep on the other side. Another one of the boulder features. Ooh, very sandy. So on my last video for Kelso, I was using my old max lens mod for my GoPro that had a scratch in it. So I wasn't happy with the scratch, but I was happy with the field of view and the stabilization. My only regret is I think I filmed with too low of a frame rate, because I found it a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Glitchy, I guess. So today I was filming in 30 FPS with the max lens mod. Today I'm filming in 60. We'll see if that makes it better. But it did provide an improved field of view for sure, and some better stabilization. Sorry, I'm climbing. So, and some better stabilization. Oh, and I did buy a new max lens mod so that the scratch hopefully doesn't show up. I should have said that. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out for a little bit. See if I like it more than the regular. Still a little bothered that I can't actually film in 4K, but I do upload in 4K since 2.7K isn't a very common resolution for viewing. Oh. So in terms of the aerobic score, there's a fair bit of climbing in the SCMB Oro trails, but it kind of does depend on the particular forest track that you're in. Some are relatively flat, others have bigger climbs. I'm now in Schumacher, and this one has this big switchback climb at the start and then a loop at the top, and then a nice flowy downhill at the end. So you get rewarded for the climb. But this is probably the longest sustained climb at Oro. Yeah, SCMB has done a really good job of cutting these switchbacks to make it a very respectable climb. But in terms of the climb score, or the aerobic score, I should have called it climb score instead of aerobic, but it's just, in terms of the aerobic score, Oro gets a good grade. It does, again, depend a little bit on what tracks you do. Schumacher definitely has a big climb. If you're connecting Schumacher and Breedon, that connector trail's got a brutal climb. So if you're at the east end of Oro, you're going to be climbing. So nice. Oh, we're at the climb on Schumacher to get this at the end. Ooh. Except for when it's soft sand. So nice. Breedon track, my favorite for flow. I love Breedon track. It's got some good climbs in it too, but flow's really nice. So that should bring me to the flow score. Flow for SCMB Oro, pretty damn good. I would say, you know, they don't have the big berms like Hickling does, but there's berms. They don't have the constant flow like Guelph Lakes, but man, these trails flow nice. A little more cross country for me. I mean, I prefer my trails to be a little more technical. But yeah, Oro flows nice. As a result, as a result, I would say Oro gets, you know, above average on flow. Not the benchmark again, but man, it's good and fun. These trails are fun for flow. That's fun flow. Couple little, oh man. So I'm pretty much done my ride, but I still have to get back to my car. I'm done my ride because I am at 35 kilometers and feeling it. I want green. Yeah. 35 kilometers and feeling it. And I don't know how much battery I have left. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fun and experience for these trails. So I've already said these trails are fun. They're fast, they're flowy. Not too technical, but it makes up for it in flow. In terms of the experience, I'm going to talk about the trails specifically, and then I'm going to get into the broader experience. These trails are very easy to follow, well marked with maps at intersections, most intersections anyways, but very easy to follow. So someone coming here for the first time can easily ride trails and not get too lost. It's not like a place like Kelso where I was never lost, but I didn't know exactly where I was going. Yeah, these trails are made up of very easy to follow loops, and for that reason, great for first timers. So that adds to a more pleasant riding experience in my view. And then on the broader experience, or even still about these trails, there's so much in here. I mean, between the various forest tracks, there's just so much trail that you could come here a couple of different times, 2 to 3 different times, depending on the length of your ride, and not ride any trail twice. And I think that adds to the experience as well. It's hard to get bored of these trails when you can mix it up so easily. So that contributes to the experience score of the trail system. Now, in terms of the broader experience, close to Hardwood, close to Horseshoe, close to Copeland, you could really make this like a weekend-long riding destination. Long weekend, like a 4-day weekend long riding destination, and mix things up. And you know, for that reason, I think overall the experience of SCMB Oro is pretty good. Before my battery runs out, this was SCMB Oro number 8 on the list. Fun set of trails, really well marked, easy to follow, easy technically, so great for beginners, good flow, and you know, the occasional feature. Happy pedaling, guys. I'll see you out there.